Infernum is an extension mod made for Calamity, which makes every boss way harder by reworking them. And by reworking them, I mean adding a fuck ton of visuals. By default, the mod doesn't let me play it on Master mode, so completing Infernum on Master mode is impossible. Or is it? With the help of this handy-dandy mod from the Steam Workshop, which does absolutely nothing besides lifting this restriction, I can play Infernum on Master. Now that restriction was there for a good reason, because the developers of the mod knew that this difficulty would be challenging both physically and mentally. So I made it my goal to prove everyone wrong and show them that it is possible to complete Infernum on a Master mode. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a drink, and enjoy the video. After creating the world on the aforementioned difficulty, of course, I opened the bag Calamity gave me, which was full of useful starting gear. I also summoned a deviant who gave me even more starting gear. I started by scouring the surrounding area. I found a cave and immediately headed down to gather some useful stuff such as ores and crafting material. After seeing how this little Wolfram drone dealt 1/3 of my HP, I realized that I don't like caving that much, so I instead did some industrial amount of deforestation. If I want to stand a chance in this hell of a difficulty, first I need some indispensable items. 15 heart crystals to reach 400 max health, the strongest armor possible, a base, and a viable weapon. After gathering some courage, I headed back into the cave, and this time I went deeper to look for the heart crystals I need.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
From the mining I did, I was able to craft a full set of platinum armor. But this isn't the armor I'm looking for. This is just so I don't die in one hit to the smallest dust particle. After getting the maximum 400 HP, I did some exploring and very quickly found some interesting things in the desert. The sands of the desert were shifting. Due to the new Fargo Souls mod update, every world now generates with a guaranteed pyramid, which holds the new Cursed Coffin boss. My next destination was the ocean at the edge of the world because that is where the Angler NPC can be found. I know he is useless and hated, but hear me out. In Calamity, if the angler dies to a treasure crocodile, then he drops the golden fishing rod with 100% chance. Calamity devs, please don't remove this. After returning home, I drank a gravity potion I found earlier and started exploring the planetoids. Luckily, the space laboratory is always above the spawn point, so finding it wasn't hard. And it served as an easy early game loot, and I got 4 battery factories from it, which I placed down at home. After I was done with my exploring, the Goblin army thought they'd pay me a visit, considering how kind of a company they are. However, I didn't plan to have any guests over, so I asked them kindly to leave. Deep underground, I found a Goblin Tinker who was tied up because he scammed them out of their money. I crafted some good movement accessories, and using a desert crate, I made a magic conch so I had easy transportation to the ocean. Also, thanks to the Louis AFK mod, the golden fishing rod now throws 5 bobbers. At the beach, I started fishing for the river shark. Now you might say, the river shark was nerfed in 1.4 and it can no longer mine hellstone, to which the Calamity Dev said,
No.
Because in Calamity, the river shark's pickaxe power is back to a whopping 100%. After getting the river shark, I headed down to the deepest depths of hell to mine some hellstone, get a hellforge, loot the laboratory, and get a very useful item in the Profane Garden. The Wayfinder. Using the hellstone I mined in the Underworld, I crafted the Molten Armor, the strongest armor I can have so far. I expanded my base into the jungle and went down to explore its underground. Thanks to the word generation, I found the jungle temple very quickly. However, I kinda forgot about the trance. A quick detour to get some obsidian at the Sunken Sea, and also looting the laboratory. Shortly after, I found the jungle laboratory and the underground one, which houses the onyx drill mount. After all that grinding and exploration, I was able to craft the Terra Spark boots. Yes, before killing a single boss. Then, I started preparing my first boss arena. I created a large flat surface by using the onyx drill and filled up the low areas with dirt. And I created 2 layers of platforms. Before actually fighting any boss, I had to get the weapon I was looking for, the Old Lord Claymore, which drops from both circles. It took many hours of grinding to finally get it. The first boss I faced was the King's Time. In Calamity, one of its special moves is ejecting the ruby from his crown, which constantly shoots at me, and as a bonus, it also calculates my movement, so it aims ahead. Infernum adds a second special move, which causes the ninja to jump out from King's Time and make it a duo boss. But thanks to my strong gear, they were felled easily. The next boss I took on was the Desert Scourge. For this boss, I changed my weapon to a molten bow with jester arrows. Since I'm facing a worm boss, it's only logical that I use piercing, which is very effective against segmented bosses. Thanks to the flying carpet and the arrow's infinite piercing, Desert Scourge was a piece of cake. Then I challenged the Eye of Cthulhu. Infernum improves him in every way.
He's quick! He's smart!
After all of these bosses, I needed a quick break, so I thought I could invade the jungle temple. But unfortunately the door was locked.
I don't know, we'd have to break in and... Just kidding, let's break in!
Although I didn't get very far.
4-year-old spotted! Pitbull!
In the Corruption, I prepared an arena for the Hive Mind as well as for the Eater of Worlds. In Infernum, the Eater of Worlds splitting mechanic has been reversed. The boss no longer consists of multiple segments, but instead it's one huge worm, which when drops the 0 HP, splits into 2, then 4 worms, and regain some health. Using the Demonite ore drop, I upgraded my storage units so they can hold more items. Back in the jungle, I found Infernum's pre-built Plantera arena, and next to it the cherry blossom biome, which thankfully generated normally this time. I expanded and cleaned up the arena a bit so that I don't have to worry about it when preparing for Plantera. While I was there, I took a shot at Queen Bee. It went horribly. Back at home, I got visited by the traveling merchant who was selling the Grey Zappinator, a very OP magic weapon. In the corruption, I found a meteorite which somehow landed in a way that breaks the laws of physics. I mined it out and used it to make the meteorite armor. Then it was time to kill the hive mind. The reason the Zappinator is so OP because it has many special effects that trigger on healing. It can teleport 16 or 14 tiles left, right, up or down, multiply knockback or damage by 10, and many more. And it's really good against the hive mind because the boss is quite large, so it's easy to hit. In preparation for Skeleton, I crafted a star cannon, a set of wings, and a scroll of arena, which gives me endless arena buffs. Skeleton got many unique attacks thanks to Infernum's review. It has attacks like shooting skulls out of its head, shooting flames out of its hands, shooting flames and skulls out of its head. Despite having the best weapons, armor set and accessories, due to Master Mode cranking up HP and damage numbers to the max, Skeleton is the first of many roadblock bosses I'll encounter through this playthrough.
And like you have roadblocks.
It took me a couple attempts, but eventually I managed to defeat it. It dropped a new weapon added by Fargo's Souls mod, which made very interesting sound when fired. I immediately headed down into the dungeon. I was looking for 2 specific items, the Cobalt Shield and the Muramasa. Heading deeper into the dungeon, I found the archives where the Ceaseless Void is kept, tightly chained to the walls. Before finishing pre-hard mode and challenging the Wall of Flesh, I wanted to fight the Slime God, because from its loot, I can make a stronger armor than what I currently have. In Infernum, the Slime God has such a predictable and repeating AI that with enough patience, it can be exploited and the boss can be killed very easily. Unfortunately, this predictable AI comes with a cost, and that is bugs. Slime God is extremely buggy. It tends to die due to nothing, gets stuck in ground, slide off to infinity, and very annoyingly despawn whenever it likes. However, I still faced it undeterred by these bugs. Although most of my failed attempts didn't happen because of these glitches, it was caused by a rare phenomena called skill issue. Anyhow, after trying over and over again, I managed to defeat it. From the static elite drop, I crafted a set of static gale armor, which is the strongest armor possible in Terraria. A quick Ribulon kill for the permanent rage upgrade, then it was time to finally face the last boss before entering hardwood, the Wall of Flesh. Because of the rework, now it has 4 eyes which are flying independently of its body. As long as these eyes are alive, the mouth takes 98% less damage and it sometimes fires a giant laser while predicting my movement and future position. When the eyes' health drops to 0, they don't die, but instead detach themselves, become invincible and start orbiting me, periodically shooting lasers. This boss was so hard that I switched classes twice. First, I tried it with the Fractured Arc, then I tried out the overloaded blaster dropped from the Slime God. Eventually, the successful attempt was with the Knight's Ray Mage weapon. Either way, the Wall of Flesh was felled, my world got blessed with Cobalt and Palladium, and I was ready to head into hardwood. With the Wall of Flesh finally defeated, I was halfway through vanilla progression, but only a quarter into Calamity. When I went home to place down the boss trophy, I got hit in the face with a terrible scene. The astral biome had the audacity to spawn right next to my base. Forgo's Mutant mod also adds a consumable which, when used, reveals the entire map. I used it to find the Aether, and I set up a house there with pylon so I have an easy access to it. Next, I went to the Hollow Underground to get some Souls of Light, but I had quite a bad luck with enemies.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
So I started fishing, because in Calamity there's a fish which gives a handful of Souls of Light when open. Upon returning home and opening the crates I got, I made a shocking discovery. Turns out, titanium crates can give tier 3 hardwood ores and bars before unlocking them. With this new information, I brewed up 40 minutes worth of crate potions, went to the beach and started fishing for crates. I would have fished for longer, but the game had other plans.
Car battery!
I opened all the titanium crates and the amount of bars I got was more than enough to craft a full set of titanium armor. From the leftover bars, I made the titanium railgun, which is a great weapon because it deals massive damage and it has infinite piercing. Then, I started killing some hollowed mimics in order to get a celestial claymore weapon, which is so OP that it easily shreds the twins. It took me a couple of mimics, but eventually I got it. So, without hesitation, I wanted to challenge the twins, but the game insisted that it wants to summon them instead. As soon as they arrived, I started using the celestial claymore. But something was wrong. It felt weaker and it didn't summon as many projectiles as I remember, so I had to look it up on the wiki. And it turns out the weapon got nerfed. Before facing more bosses, I went to the jungle to get some life fruits to upgrade my max health to 600. Then, instead of the twins, I faced the destroyer. Out of the 3 mech bosses, the destroyer is my second favorite with the rework. The only concerning attack is when it shoots out a volley of bombs, whose trajectory is quite unpredictable and can deal massive damage. For the most part, I was using the dart rifle with cursed flame darts, but then I switched to the titanium railgun for more damage and better piercing. Even though I was heavily injured at the end, I came out on top. With the first mech boss defeated, my world got blessed with Mithril and Orichalcum. Then, at home, I quickly got rid of the Astral Biome. I know this makes it impossible to fight Astrum Deus and Astrum Aureus, but to be honest, I don't really care. They don't have very useful drops. In the snow biome, I prepared an arena for my next boss, Cryogen. It went down very easily. Cryogen's death also introduced a new ore into the world called Cryonic Ore. While mining for it, I found a snow laboratory, quickly looted it, and went home to craft a full set of Daedalus armor. With my new armor and weapon, it was time to revisit the twins. They're my favorite mech boss, both in vanilla and in Infernum. I simply love duo bosses, and Infernum adds a unique desperation phase for both of them, and makes their attacks so synchronized that I'm simply unable to not love them. With the twins finally defeated, my world got blessed with adamantite and titanium, so now I can get it legitimately. Then, after quickly disposing of Skeleton Prime, I got a cutscene, where I saw Drayden, who's been watching me from the very beginning. At this point, I also had enough hollowed bars to make a full set of hollowed armor. From all the souls the mech bosses drop, I was able to craft the Blood Orange, which further increases my max health to 630. The next boss I had to face was Plantera. She received a massive rework from Infernum. Not like any other boss got less. Plantera switches to phase 2 much sooner, fills the arena with spore fart clouds, lost her tentacles, and then I used in a new unique attack. Divides the arena to 4, then at lower health to 6 segments with damage dealing vines, and dashes at me with incredible high speed. My attempts used up all the pre-generated bulbs that summoned the boss. Anyways, she was dead. The dungeon got swarmed by a SWAT. And the jungle temple was open. I instantly went in, and just to see how strong or weak I am, I challenged the golem. In Infernum, golem got reworked in a way that his glowing ice color indicates the next upcoming attack. This makes golem very predictable and easy to prepare for the next attack. After a while, it got clear that I wasn't supposed to fight Golem with the equipment I had, because I was dealing abysmal damage. Anyways, dodging carefully, slowly but surely, Golem was dead on the first try. Back at home, I crafted the miracle fruit, which increased my max HP to 660. Normally, the next boss after Golem is the lunatic cultist, but I knew I had to get better armor and weapons for the final stretch of the vanilla progression. My next challenge was against the forgotten Shadow of Calamitas. She drops the Ashes of Calamity, which is a necessary crafting material for many strong weapons and accessories. She was quite difficult due to her fast-paced bullet hell nature. For the cultist, I crafted a set of beetle armor, and from the Ashes Calamitas drop, I crafted Asgard's Valor and the Fallen Paladin's Hammer. A quick Ravager kill for the Blood Pact accessory, which increases my max health by a lot and upgrades healing potions when equipped.
Hey, hang on, Carter. I think I know how to take this guy down. Among Us.
The cultist wasn't that hot. He didn't receive any huge rework, only difference is that now all of his attacks are homing and the lightning calculates my position. Basically that's it.
See? Easy.
After he died, the celestial pillars got unleashed and I got to work. I always start with the solar pillar because it's better to get the hardest one out of the way first. The vortex pillar followed. Then the stardust. And finally, the nebula pillar. But I didn't kill the nebula pillar yet, on purpose. You see, in Infernum, Moonlord spawns immediately after the last pillar dies, and it comes with an arena made of unbreakable blocks, so I can't even teleport home to fight it at a better place. In preparation, I made a set of spectral armor, crafted the Swarmer weapon, prepared the arena, and placed down a Wayfinder exit so I can quickly come home in those few seconds before the Moonlord arrives. I went back to kill the Nebula Pillar, and while the death animation was playing, I teleported myself home, and then it was time to face the Moonlord. He received probably the most new unique attacks. The Death Ray now fires more frequently in 10 different directions, 3 times in a row. The Eyes attacks are all synchronized and calculate my movement and position, and at some point, the Moonlord's heart turns into a black hole. And many more. It took many attempts to finally kill him, but after trial and error, improving my dodging skills after every death, the Moonlord was finally dead. The Moon Lord's death spawned new planetoids filled with lumini, and my first thing was to mine all of them. From the luminite, I crafted a full set of Nabiel armor. While I was making a surface glowing mushroom biome for the truffle, I got a message from God itself.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Welcome, usurper. In solitude, only you behold the heavenly splendor enveloping this realm. Your presence here has been ordained so that you might fathom your destiny. The Dark One drifts in your domain. It is incumbent upon you to conquer it. Once triumphant, your fate shall interlace with mine once more, and you will be tested.